Yo, how's it going everybody? Ray here. Today I have a bit of a story time video for you guys. I want to talk about how I got Perma-ban from Outpost, and this isn't just because I felt like it, more so just because I made a video 5 months ago saying that, yeah, I would probably talk about it, but I wasn't so sure, and people have asked me to, kinda, sort of, so now I'm finally doing it. I used to be a pretty big trader back in the day, and I also used to make bp.tf unusual suggestions. Some people might be aware. I used to be pretty close friends with Polar, which was the admin on bp.tf, and that's basically what I did. I just traded, and I was a really profit-hungry guy. That's what I was kind of known for. Some people knew me on Outpost, and I think that was kind of the reason why I even got unpermabanned, which doesn't happen very often. That was lucky for sure. I also wanted to talk about the fact that I got a new mic. Kind of a weird time to mention it, but yeah, I have a Snowball Ice mic, which is really awesome because if you guys didn't know, I was using the Turtle Beach Headset X22 mic, and I was using that for about, I don't know, 3 years now, which is, I don't know, a change is always good, and it's always nice, because it's so nice to talk into something that's not in your face all the time, and you have room to move around, and I can do that if I want to, which is great. So yeah, going back to the story, if you guys know the website trade.tf, it's basically a website that shows you the percentage of profit you're gonna get if you're gonna trade for a particular unusual hat, and they have different filters on there you can check out. But basically what I was doing is I was going through that, and because I really wanted to profit, and because I also had Pure at the time, which is basically keys or earbuds, and when this happened, earbuds were worth, I think, 19 or 20 keys, so it was a pretty big deal, and I had one earbud, and I didn't really care. I just wanted to buy an unusual so I could resell it, because back then, before I got my Fruit Shoot and my Baker Boy, which were pretty much my dream unusuals, I also had a couple of unusuals which were a Smoking Team Captain, which is pretty awesome. Like, I sold it, but Smoking used to be my favorite effect. Some people might not know that, you know, I had a Smoking Team Captain. When I tell people, they're kind of surprised. I also had a Scorching Fruit Shoot and a Burning Flames Fruit Shoot, along with a Fruit Shoot collection that I used to have, which is all fine and dandy. That was cool, but at the time, I just wanted to sell and buy and sell and buy. You get the idea. So I saw that someone was selling unusual Milkman, which was masked flies. That was the effect, but it was kind of irrelevant to me. The only thing I cared about was that he was selling it for half price. It was worth about 2 buds, and he was selling it for 1 bud. He only wanted 1 bud out of it, which was great. I immediately went for the deal, and his profile was sketchy as hell. You could easily tell he was a scammer, or that he bought it from a scammer and just wanted to resell it so he doesn't get found out, and it was pretty clearly an alternate account, but I didn't care. Ray's a rebel. I didn't really care. I didn't mind. I bought it anyway from him, and it was shady because he didn't have anything else in his inventory, and he had, like, I don't know, I don't even know how many hours he had on TF2, but it was clearly an alternate account. And I think the biggest mistake I made at the time is that I didn't think I'd get found out. I knew it was sketchy, I knew it was kind of a trade I shouldn't have made, but I thought no one would care. And I put the Milkman back out for sale. I wanted to sell it again, obviously, and profit, turn a big profit, which would have obviously been really ideal, and that's what was gonna happen. I don't really remember how much time it took, but eventually I got a temporary ban, and it was a temporary 2-week ban because I traded with the scammer. So after a few days that I make that trade, or a week, or however long it was, I think it was even more than that because I thought no one else would find out about the trade, and it wasn't so much of an intentional thing. I just was kind of ignorant, and of course it was my own fault. It's usually your own fault when stuff like this happens, but it gets even worse because after a while, Tough Socks, which is the admin for TF2 Outpost, he adds me and he says, "Hey, did you trade this Milkman? What happened? Well, you knew he was a scammer." And I said, "Yeah, I kinda knew. You shouldn't be making trades with those types of accounts, so we're gonna give you a 2-week ban." And it was all fine and dandy. I didn't really care. I think this was around the time when I was sort of quitting trading, so I didn't really mind. But I don't know, I felt really flustered after that happened, and what's ironic about this whole thing is that I would usually go through Outpost and I would check accounts that are banned and see why they were banned, and a lot of them were perma-banned for ban evasion, and at the time I didn't really know what that even meant. I just went, you know, I just completely ignored it. And the ironic part of all of this is that I got banned for ban evasion, because after I got my first initial ban, I made an alternate account thinking I could use Outpost again, and it doesn't work, guys. Don't do that. It never works out. They will catch you because it's an IP ban, and I was instantly perma-banned, and I just thought, well, you know, damn it, I'm not gonna go back to trading, it's not gonna work. But I was so flustered to the point where I contacted Vox Day, which is another TF2 Outpost admin, and I'm gonna link him this video. Hopefully he watches it, and I'd just like to thank you personally, man, because you helped me a lot through this. He did help me a lot. We talked for, I think, a couple months, and I kept reminding him, hey, could you contact Tough Socks again? I want to talk to him, and I want to see if I can get unpermabanned. And my only issue with this whole thing, too, was that I really didn't want to taint my reputation, you know? I didn't want to, because even nowadays, if people that watch me on YouTube would go on my Steam rep and we see that I'm permabanned, and they would probably think I'm a scammer, or it would just taint my reputation. Even back then, it would have done the same thing. And I liked making backpack TF suggestions, and that also wouldn't be possible anymore. I quit right afterwards anyway, because it didn't feel right to me anymore. I just wasn't getting enjoyment out of it anymore. But it was fun for a while. And after this whole hiatus happened, Tough Socks did end up contacting me again, and I have some screenshots from when we talked about this whole thing. I don't even remember taking these, but hey, I have them, so there you go, you guys can see them as well. And apparently there are some people in the community that spoke out in my favor, and that's why I even got unpermabanned. And what's funny is that since then I didn't really trade anymore. I kind of quit that whole scene, and I just didn't go back, because to be honest, a lot of the people in the trading community are kind of scummy. Not everyone, but I would have really bad experiences where I've been scammed before, and I talked about this in my Trading Tales video, which I'll link at the end. But I've been scammed before, and I have people cancel out of trades, you know, before the final deal was made, and it was just really flustering. A lot of people are just really profit hungry, and I was the same at the time. I wanted to profit, and that got me into a temporary ban, which then got me into a permaban, which I'm very lucky that I even got unbanned. But because I had a fairly good reputation, I had a good feeling that I could argue my case, and it turns out it wasn't even just me, but it was, you know, the other people that spoke in my favor, and I don't know who those people are. Tough Socks never ended up telling me because, you know, obviously this stuff is kept confidential, but I have a really strong feeling, now that I think back, that it might have been a backpack TF admin for that matter, because they kind of knew me around there, and I knew I was a pretty good guy. Like, that was just a trade out of ignorance, and I got what I deserved for it. And that's pretty much all I had for the story. It was a relatively quick one, but I hope you guys really did enjoy the video. I'd just like to thank everyone who watches me, because my channel has been growing a ton recently. It's been getting really a lot of attention, and I couldn't thank you guys more. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.